Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. The Corpus Christi ISD School Board will vote this afternoon on whether to close Kostoryz and Schanen Estates elementaries. According to the district's website, that meeting is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. today. CCISD Deputy Superintendent of Business and Support Services Karen Griffith told the board that both campuses are old and have the most urgent maintenance needs. The district's Director of Facilities and Operations, Renee De Leon, said Schanen Estates had a 27-year-old roof, cast iron plumbing causing sewer issues, and asbestos in the acoustic installation in all of the classrooms. The number of work orders submitted by Schanen Estates was considered high from July 2024 to earlier this month, with over 300 maintenance work orders submitted in a 10-month period, which cost the district over $76,000. De Leon said Kostoryz Elementary needs a new roof, and both chillers, which are 14 years old, need to be replaced. He added portables on campus are deteriorating. As of this past October, about 370 students attend Kostoryz Elementary, and the same amount attend Schanen Estates. There are plans to relocate students in the 2025-26 school year should one or both schools be closed. With early voting ending tomorrow and Election Day approaching this Saturday, Flour Bluff ISD is asking voters to consider 3 bond proposals totaling $193 million to address aging facilities and growing enrollment. The bond, split into 3 separate propositions, would fund infrastructure improvements, expand spaces for skilled trades in ROTC, and renovate parts of Hornet Stadium. Superintendent Chris Steinbrook said the need for the bond stems from the district's significant growth over the years. Steinbrook told KRIS they have almost 5,600 students, with several buildings on Hustle and Hornet that didn't exist when the central plant was built. Proposition A focuses on infrastructure at 10 cents per $100 valuation of assessed property value. Proposition B would expand spaces for skilled trades in ROTC at 6 cents per $100 valuation. Proposition C would renovate the Hornet Stadium at 2 cents per $100 valuation. District officials expect the projects, if approved, would be completed over a 5-year timeline. The district says they are offering 2 more tours of the facilities for voters seeking more information about the bond. And on the note of early voting, people with immediate impact to the community will be decided. Some elections to watch for in Corpus Christi include the CCISD Board of Trustees elections. In other elections, the City of Victoria is hoping voters will respond to the need for improvements to the Victoria Community Center. For the full list of what's on your ballot, you can visit your city, zip code, and even the entire state of Texas at vote411.org/ballot. If you're in the mood for camaraderie and cheer tomorrow night, you can hear the fine voices of the Corpus Christi Chorale, who will be celebrating its 80th season in a performance extravaganza tomorrow night. Joe Smichael spoke with Corpus Christi Chorale Artistic Director Devin Davis about the details.
The Corpus Christi Chorale is celebrating its 80th anniversary tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. in the Performing Arts Center at TAMU CC. More information is available at corpuschristichorale.org. Corpus Christi Chorale Artistic Director Devin Davis describes what those attending the performance can expect.
We'll be celebrating the 80th season of the Corpus Christi Chorale, which was identified or established in 1945. So this work is called Passion Music. It is based upon the Easter Passion. It is by Will Todd, who's a composer from London, England. It involves jazz ensemble. It's going to include the Flour Bluff Elementary Performing Arts Club joining us on that with their own separate set and joining us on this large work. It has several instrumentalists from the university. It also involves Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi University singers. This is a 9-movement work for choir and jazz ensemble.
Counting everyone on stage, there will probably be about 100 players and singers combined. So this performance is definitely over the top.
So it's going to feel like a Requiem, Brahms Requiem, Verdi Requiem, but it's much more loosely based on more jazz form. So you're going to have a lot more improvisation. You're going to have a lot more soloists. You're going to have a lot more, the instrumentation is for sax, trumpet, trombone, but you also have timpani and bass guitar and piano. So it is quite a hodgepodge of styles.
This is Joe Smichael for KEDT News.
The conversation surrounding a proposed sale of the Fannin Monument in Goliad is having its first public comments town hall to gauge community interest. The Goliad County Commissioners Court will hold a quorum following their regular meeting later today. Commissioners Court begins at 5 p.m. The town hall will begin directly after at 5:30. The commissioners are looking into resources to improve the maintenance of the historical marker. The Texas Historical Commission proposed that Goliad should transfer ownership of the monument to their department for $1 million. Goliad residents lie on both sides of the issue. Some believe THC is the best option for maintaining the grounds and the monument itself. Others say they are concerned about the monetary transaction for a vital piece of the town's history. The commissioner said in a prior meeting that they would not commit to any sale if the residents of Goliad opposed the proposal. County Judge Mike Bennett said that no sale will happen without hearing from the community first. You can let your voice be heard about why the Texas State Aquarium is among the best in the country. Texas State Aquarium is one of the nominees of USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards for Best Aquarium. The awards highlight the best of the best in various travel and lifestyle categories, including destinations, food and drink, and attractions. The Texas State Aquarium, the largest aquarium in the state, is the only Texas-based nominee in the category. Voting ends on May 12th. For more information, visit 10best.usatoday.com. Beginning today, Corpus Christi crews will begin work on 2 bridges on North Padre Island. The projects include improvements to the Whitecap Boulevard Bridge near Cruiser Street and the Gypsy Street Bridge near Bounty Avenue. Construction will require varying lane closures. Work is expected to be completed by June 12th. Motorists traveling through this area must follow the posted detour signs to navigate the construction zone. Residents in La Feria living near FM 506 will soon get some flood relief after the city recently hired a contractor to start a second project along the highway. La Feria Public Works Director Alfonso Rodriguez said both projects will cost $2 million. The projects are being paid for with grants from the Texas General Land Office. At least 500 homes will benefit from this, Rodriguez said. The first project runs from Cooper Lane to Dodd Lane. Construction is already underway. The second phase runs from Dodd Lane to the Arroyo Colorado. New 60-inch pipes will be added in along with swells. The goal is to get the water quickly off of roads and into the river. Construction on the second phase is set to start in about a month. Rodriguez said they hope to have both of the projects wrapped up before the beginning of hurricane season in June. Last Thursday, legislation that would allow the Attorney General of Texas to prosecute certain election offenses passed in the Texas Senate. Currently, those powers reside with the local district and county attorneys. The Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey explains why lawmakers say the change is needed.
Bill sponsor Representative Brent Hagenbu, a Denson Republican, says there's evidence that some attorneys are refusing to enforce Texas election laws, potentially leaving election-related crimes unprosecuted. While he couldn't provide evidence, Hagenbu said if his bill becomes law, it would allow residents to file a petition to have a judge override any inaction and move cases to the Attorney General's office. Austin Democrat Senator Sarah Eckert says the change would strip away local discretion.
What your bill does is take away that discretion. If a local prosecuting attorney chooses not to move the case forward, then the Attorney General would have independent prosecutorial authority for the first time in Texas history.
Since taking office in 2015, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has actively pursued election-related crimes. This will give him much more authority to do so. I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
When we return on South Texas Midday, the Corpus Christi Tritons Arena Football Organization is accused of not paying its roster and used replacement players during Saturday night's game. We'll tell you how the game went, plus we take a look at a crafty TikTok trend that's taking over North Texas. We'll be right back with more South Texas Midday.
If you're a regular KEDT-FM listener, you know that we have 3 membership drives every year. But did you know that you don't have to wait until those drives to pledge your support? That's true. You can pledge your support anytime, day or night. If you're inspired by what you're listening to on KEDT-FM, whether it's a news or music program, you can call the studios at 361-855-2213 or online at KEDT.org and make your pledge to your community-owned station. Your contributions are what make KEDT-FM thrive with its many great programs. So there's no waiting for that next drive. Call today, 361-855-2213, or pledge online at KEDT.org. Thanks for your pledge of support for your community-owned station, KEDT 90.3 FM.
Welcome back to South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. In sports, the Corpus Christi Tritons Arena Football Organization is accused of not paying its roster and used replacement players during its 88-point loss at home Saturday night. The Tritons lost 100-12 to the Albany Firebirds, mostly without its regular roster. ArenaNow.com reported the game, which was streamed on Evergreen Now, displayed some of the players for the Tritons with unassigned and inconsistent numbers, including a new quarterback wearing number 7 and a different player wearing number 5, which is assigned to defensive back Dwayne Hollis. The game was dedicated as Military First Responder Appreciation Night, so all of the players had Salute to Service on the back of their jerseys. And a crafty TikTok trend is taking over North Texas. KERA's Zara Amechi takes us inside one group of crafters who have adopted the trending art form and are building memories one page at a time.
At Clyde Warren Park in downtown Dallas, there's always something to see. Food trucks, kids splashing in fountains, friends picnicking in the sun. But on this sunny Sunday afternoon, a group of women sit in a circle with scissors, glue sticks, and boxes of what might look like trash to some.
I don't like spiral bounds because I want my hands to be touching. I know, that's the only thing I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
The women are creating junk journals, a mashup of diary writing and scrapbooking. Led by Amanda Sapera, DFW Junk Journal Club meets monthly.
I was always that person that kept like the random movie ticket or, my old ID from college. I just didn't want to let it go.
Sapera has been journaling and scrapbooking since childhood, but slowed down during college. 2 years ago, while scrolling TikTok, she came across videos of women trading supplies and creating junk journals. What stood out the most to her was how many people in the comments shared her interests.
It's hard to make friends as an adult, and I wanted to make friends outside of my job.
So she took a leap of faith. Sapera messaged dozens of commenters in Dallas, inviting them to her first meetup of the club.
We're kind of hoarders, but we try to turn it into something memorable.
At a typical meetup, attendees get a scrap pack filled with reusable materials. Things like washi tape, fabric pieces, and a themed title card that includes spots to write in dates and locations. Everyone wears a name tag, signs a guest book, and dives into crafting with full creative freedom. The group is open to all ages. Since December, the group has met everywhere from movie theaters in Arlington to coffee shops in Flower Mound.
What about you? I'm Brooke. Where did you go? Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
This is 30-year-old Brooke Smith's second time attending, and she's already hooked.
This is also just a way to be accountable and sticking to a hobby and not just giving up on it after doing it once.
Smith uses her journals to document memories like her 30th birthday trip to Nashville and date nights with her boyfriend. She creates collages on pages designed in a vintage art style.
It's kind of a way to repurpose things that would otherwise be waste or maybe not even significant at all, like receipts or menus or photos that you don't know what to do with. It kind of gives them a purpose.
Then, there are attendees like 61-year-old Judy Hendricks, who uses junk journaling as a form of therapy.
Gratitude, likes, dislikes, a letter to myself to be written at the end of the year.
Hendricks journals as part of her internal family systems therapy, a psychotherapy used for people living with dissociative identity disorder, where they address their different personalities.
The other day I was struggling a little bit, so it helps me to communicate with my therapist as well.
It's like a box cutter but a carrot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can
It's clear junk journaling is more than just art for these women. Here's Sapera again.
But it can also be a form of your expression, whether it's therapy or your emotional feelings, because if you're going to therapy and writing about all of your stages of growth, eventually you're going to be able to look back on that and see how much you've changed.
Sapera is happy the club has brought people together.
I did not know any of these people before we started our club together, and now I have many, many friends.
Friends that'll fill the pages of future journals. I'm Zara Michi in Dallas.
And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.